Okay. I don't want it. Here, Jonah, here. I'll throw it away. I want a cake.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, good job.
That's my cake.
That's Grammy's cake.
Take your hand down, Megan.
It's Grammy's birthday.
Now, see, I have to close one eye like this.
Yeah, everybody's got a camera in front of their face so nobody can see each other.
It's like
Paparazzi.
that was good.
What's her name? Angelina. No, Kathy, you mean Brangelina?
I want one of that.
Oh, I want to see that myself. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay.
This is yours. Do you want this?
I love your name.
Is this okay, Electric? That's great. Oh, we gotta move this.
Are you related to Carmen?
No, wait a minute. Let me get this. I'm not. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I rented it like a few months ago. Yeah. And I loved it. Yeah, I want to see it in the theater. Let's see it again.
What time is it starting?
Yeah.
What do you say, Jonah?
I don't know. I'm
It's 9. It's nice.
Close enough? Okay. A story about Hazel.
Oh, golly. And since then, of course, I've already thought of a million trillion things I wish I had added or not said or said or something. And I'll probably cry, so I'll just tell you now. And what I can do is, well, we ran a little bit late because I was going to put these in a little photograph album. But when Sandra called me, she threw me all off, so I didn't get them in the thing at the last minute. So what I'll do is just pass these around and let people look at them as I'm talking. Then you won't all just look at me. Okay.
Uh-oh. Was that the baby?
No, it's usually followed by a wah.
And if anybody feels like they want to add or interject something, feel free to say whatever you want to say.
Pass them on.
So,
I wanted to find some David Niven movies for you. I'm still looking. I'm
You
going to
haven't
do a
found
search.
any?
I know. I'm going to do a search for you.
okay. These pictures, I only had 2 little boxes to go through to find pictures, and these are just random weird pictures that I just happened to find. And then I found out Hazel has the box I was looking for down here. So what I want to say is, well, once upon a time, there was a little girl that lived in a country far, far, far away. She lived in a town.
Shout, Terri.
She lived in a little town called England, a little city called England, with her mom and dad and all her little families and maybe her grandpa and grandma. And she thought she would always just continue to live here all of her life. But the world got mean and bad, and a war broke out, and they started fighting. And so there were lots of good-looking soldiers in her country. And
You got that right.
by this time, Hazel was a beautiful young lady. And was appealing to all the soldiers, but there was one special soldier. There was one special soldier that won Hazel's heart, and his name was Mike. And before she knew it, she was packing up, and within not very long, she was gone. It resembles a put it on there. Wait a minute, they have to go together. And they, okay, so then she met, I don't know how it all worked exactly, but she met my mom, Winnie Jester, and they became best friends.
We're all gonna cry.
And soon before she knew it, all of her friends were going off to work, and she got left with all of us kids.
Poor Hazel.
And there was first along came Kathy Sue, and then Cindy Ray, and then we got another little angel girl. What's your middle name?
Lynn. No, Winifred changed her name.
And then some other very special friends came, Janelle and Bob, and Michael and Peter, and it just kept growing. And she had us in. We probably here she was in a strange country with all these kids left over and hanging out. And I think she finally.
Had a nervous breakdown.
To preserve her sanity, she would let Kathy take all of the kids and walk them up to the Chat and Nibble or up to the store. Tell them why that.
Oh, on a leash. She'd tie us together with a rope. Tie them together.
Yes, she did.
Or if she would have had handcuffs, she would have handcuffed us.
That was later.
The last time they've been under control.
But it was a really good idea. And it worked. and some of the things I remember is that this one might be false, but I remember playing in these huge cornfields that were taller than any corn in the whole wide world. And we played Cowboys and Indians, and I thought David and Kathy always got to be the Indians and shoot the Cowboys.
I thought so.
I thought we made
even then.
all of us kids be the Indians and we are the Cowboys, and that was no fun. I wanted to be an Indian with a bow and stuff. So, and another thing that she did to save her sanity, she wasn't probably so much of a cook, as English people are not known for cooking very good.
Thanks, Terri.
They don't even make Franco-American spaghetti anymore. They've moved to SpaghettiOs.
Oh, I remember cans and cans. Yeah.
Franco-American spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now
And
that
we
you
would
mention it,
sit
I do remember a lot of
and
cans
watch The
of
Lone
spaghetti.
Ranger. Is that what it was? The Lone Ranger, I think? And Roy Rogers. That's what it was.
Buck and the space, there was this, the
Buck Rogers?
Buck Rogers.
So that was probably your only peaceful time was when you could sit us all down, and feed us, and let us watch TV for a few minutes. And Hazel put up with it a lot. And she had to worry, like when Cindy and I cut each other's hair and basing my
Oh, I remember that one.
basing my hair. Now that I've had a daughter that cut her own hair, I understand. Started going our separate ways.
No, I'm not in there.
And we all started growing up. I think that Daddy and Mom were the first ones to leave Oregon. I mean, when we moved to Oregon. I remember crying all the way, but I wasn't so much crying because I didn't understand we were moving. I was crying because I didn't get to be the junior bride that I wanted to be.
Oh, no, I got to do it.
Cindy got to do it. And get wear the most beautiful little bride's dress.
Yeah.
So I cried and cried moving to Oregon because I wanted to be the junior bride. But my mom cried literally all the way to Oregon because she was leaving her best friends. And now I understand how that feels. You know, I just think, wow. And then I think Janelle and Bob moved to Georgia. Is that when you
Where?
Georgia?
Mexico first.
To Mexico.
Mexico first. Someplace.
Someplace far away.
Yeah. Down south.
Where it was warm and we were cold.
And then Mike and Hazel and the girls all packed up, and they were the smart ones. They moved to California. And Mike started teaching. And I just want to read this, what I said about him for here because I'll forget it. Say it right. Mike was a junior high teacher, a junior high math teacher. If you can comprehend that. For how many years?
25.
25 years.
Yeah, 25.
26.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
26.
Let me find it here. Mike taught math at the junior high school, and we all must applaud the pain. My glasses. Yeah, the patience and the endurance for doing that for so long. Now that handsome young soldier that Hazel fell in love with continued to just get more handsome. He was quiet, dignified, simple, and thoughtful. Mike was always analyzing or acting like he was studying people. And he was a man of few words, but he always had a twinkle in his eye and a slight mischievous grin to him on his face all the time. And he just would kind of sit there. And anyway, Hazel finally got out of the house when they moved to California. She started working at Loma Linda University Medical Center. And work she did. People still remember the cute little fireball who really got things done. She just whizzed around the hospital. She had the medical records department whipped into shape, probably after practice with all of his kids, in no time. And when she retired a long time later, everyone still said, what will we ever do without Hazel? I'm sure the hospital has never been the same since then. And then the strangest thing happened. Mike and Hazel moved to Oregon, of all places. Cindy had already been visiting and fallen in love here and married.
Oh, that's a whole other story.
I can tell a whole lot of stories about it. But we're doing Hazel. We'll do that at your birthday. And then Lynn moved up here, and Kathy, you're the last one that's got to come. But I still can't believe you're in Oregon, actually. After griping all her life, as I said griping, but maybe a better word might be whining, for all these years about wanting to go return to her home, Hazel told the world, and most importantly, her beloved soldier husband, Mike, that she accepted her choice in life and truly would be happy wherever she lived. Of course, she always would talk about home in England, but now she officially has a second home, America. Just a minute. Just a minute, we gotta put this on. Oh. What? Terri had to help me with this one. Oh yeah, there we go.
Cute.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Okay. Pull the little thing off the back and you put it inside your shirt there. Uh-oh. Very helper.
I think I've done it wrong.
She's still sexy at 80, I guess.
65.
Oh yeah.
64.
64.
66.
I've known Hazel well as long as I can remember.
Since you were born.
Before I was born. She still calls me Terri Jo and makes me feel like the little girl I used to be. She makes me feel at home whenever I'm going to cry now. Wherever we are. And Hazel taught me at an early age that there's a world out there that I wanted to see. A place I grew up hearing stories about. A funny place called England. And I've always, literally always wanted to visit Hazel's country. And when I finally did, I found out, and I find out why Hazel did love it. England is unique, and so are the people, just like Hazel. And that brings us here today. Now I'm really right.
Yeah, we're all right.
Hazel, you have a big family, and it just keeps growing, getting smaller and getting bigger, and getting smaller and getting bigger.
That's right.
Mostly getting bigger.
Yeah, mostly bigger. And that loves you dearly. And throughout the years, across the miles, through weddings and births and struggles and heartaches, we are still a family. Sure, we may only see each other once in a while, but you know, we are friends whom we could always at any time call if we needed help. Although we've lost several very special people, Jack and Winnie and Frank and especially Mike, and our hearts are ache for them dearly. We are still here together to celebrate Hazel, the sweet little British lady, the sweet little British American lady.
I became a lady. Now that you're older, now I'm 65. 64.
Who greets everyone with a warm Hello, love. And you're cute, you're fun, you're the best friend to so many people, and you've even gotten better. Absolutely. When I look at your old pictures, I think, she looks so much better now than she You've gotten better every day. Every day of the years that the world has been blessed with your smile. So even though you may feel like, oh wait a minute, you may feel like, oh wait a minute, she lost her marbles when she moved to America.
There they are.
I'll give them back.
That's finally got him back. We stole him. That was it.
You may feel like an old dinosaur. To us, you are the queen of
Golly, don't you take any pictures of this. You're the queen of England. Yeah, Terri, Joe, thank you.
And that's all, and everybody can say whatever they want to say. I can say everything.
Thank you, honey, so much.
Did you get pictures of her with her?
Oh, no. I think you did too, because I heard it rewinding.
No, no, and you all just keep.
That was great.
You know, I was thinking it's so much more fun. I told Hazel this so I can say it in front of everybody. It's so much more fun to get together before a funeral and celebrate people than wait.
Exactly.
And afterwards. I think we should all tell each other every day these things rather than waiting until it's
Oh, that is so cute.
So that's
It's always been my fairy godmother.
Hazel and Janelle are always there, and we always know that they'll help us all out. Every one of us, we're really lucky.
We love you, honey.
Okay.
That was so cute. It takes guts. It takes guts to do that.
Peter's wife Irene. I'm just doing inventory here.
Oh, well, I'm going to get my stuff because I think we're going to. Terri, that was so neat. That was so neat, and only you can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
I got to get her up.
I know.